Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Today I want to talk about the 10 reasons to use credit cards. It sounds pretty obvious to those of us that are in the finance channels on YouTube. We talk about this all the time. But my second job is I work retail and I run a cash register. And it occurred to me the other night that the vast majority, and when I say vast majority, I mean 70 or 80% of the people use debit cards. And it just amazes me. I've even had people stand in line transferring money from savings to checking so that they can pay their bill. And I don't understand it. Now, I can think of a couple of reasons why they don't have credit cards. A, they got bad credit, which there is a percentage of the population, but not 70 or 80%, I don't think. But when I thought about that and I realized that, I thought, you know what? And by the way, the majority of the people that do that are under the age of 50. Anybody that uses a card over the age of 50, they're using credit cards. Just an observation I've made. So I decided maybe the younger folks are not educated about credit cards. So today what I want to do is I'm going to go through a list of 10 characteristics of why credit cards are better to use than debit cards. The first one is other people's money. If you can use somebody else's money for 30 to 60 days without paying any interest on it and keeping your money in the bank, wouldn't that be a good thing? Instead of running your money out every time you went to the store, and then when you need the money, now you have to transfer. That makes no sense to me. Especially when you pay bills at the beginning of the month, so now you got to run strictly on cash. Now, that is not a debit card or credit card problem. That is a spending problem or a credit problem. But using the debit card to exacerbate your problem is not the right way to go. Okay, do you pay interest on credit cards or debit cards? Debit cards, absolutely not. Credit cards you do if you carry a balance, and I think that's why a lot of people don't use credit cards, because they think they have to pay interest on the money that they use. You only do that if you don't pay your balance off at the end of the month. See, with a credit card you get 30 days plus a grace period to pay your bill. Debit cards you got to pay right here, right now. Protection on purchases. If you buy a TV with a debit card and you get home and something's wrong with the TV, you have no protection. Now you could go back and beg the person that you bought it from to make it right, but there's no protection. With a credit card, you simply pick up the phone, you call the credit card and say, hey, I got a problem with this TV. And they're going to say, we'll contact whoever you bought it from, and we'll find out, we'll make it right. In the meantime, we're going to stop payment on that charge. You have somebody to stand in your corner and somebody to protect you if something happens to any of the purchases that you made. What about sign-up bonuses? Credit cards, yes. Debit cards, for the most part, no. Now, there are some. I have seen a couple on the internet where they're paying like $100 to open a debit card, which is a new thing. I think banks are trying to hold on to those because, from the bank standpoint, they love them. Retailers love debit cards over credit cards because the fees. Now, they both pay fees, and we'll get into that in a little while. But debit cards are a lot lower fees than credit cards. So sign-up bonuses, and I mean, I've seen them as high as $800 or $900, depending on the spend, depending on the card, and depending on like an annual fee. So you can get a nice sign-up bonus just for getting a credit card, where you get nothing for getting a debit card for the most part. Now, a person has a debit card, says, yeah, but I get a checking account. Well, whoopee-doo. Okay? Are you paying on that checking account? Most banks will charge you unless you jump through certain hoops. And if you're going to jump through hoops, why not jump through hoops where you can get money instead of a checking account? Go to a credit union, get a free checking account, then sign up for a credit card and get cash. Makes more sense. Cash back or points on every purchase. Now, on debit cards, you do get some points. And I don't know what the thing is. You do get points. But on credit cards, you get cash back or points, depending on the card and depending on what you sign up for. And so let's say you have 100 points on a certain card. You can transfer those points to another card and increase your points by 25% and transfer them to another card and get another boost. So the original amount of points that you get, because there's a large network, you can get a lot more bang for your buck. With a bank debit card, if you get 10 points, you're stuck with 10 points. That's it. And you don't get to cash them in until you get a whole group of them. And that's why banks like debit cards. Acceptance. You can go anywhere in the world and MasterCard and Visa will be accepted. And most places, American Express and Discover will be accepted. Try going anywhere in the world with your debit card. See how that works out for you. Acceptance is just not there. What about perks from owning your debit card? Do you get any perks? Well, depending on your credit card, and you can get some of these with no fee credit cards, no annual fees. But you could get free upgrades, like if you go to a room or a hotel, you can get a free upgrade. Some cards you can get a certificate for one free night per year just for having the card. Some cards you can get free lounge access at airports. And a lot of credit cards these days, you can get your credit score every single month on your statement. They'll tell you what it is. And some credit cards have this new feature called price match, where if you buy, like as I used that example earlier about a TV, if you bought a TV and they searched out and found out that you can get the same TV for $100 less, then they credit your account $100. They will price match. And you don't have to do anything. They'll do it for you. Does a debit card help your credit? Not as far as I know. It might help keep you from being overdrawn. But a credit card, every single month that you pay that off or make a payment, helps increase your credit score. And in the world of credit, your credit score is critical. So if you're going to go out and you're going to spend money, why not help your credit score with a credit card instead of a debit where it's going to benefit you in no way at all? I had a credit card one time that I used only for emergencies. And I had a lot of emergencies because I was broke and I was driving junkers, and the only way that I could keep them on the road was to charge. So I ran a balance on that card. If I didn't have a credit card, I don't know what I would have done. Because when you're broke and you got no money, You got no savings. Credit card is going to save you. Now, I had to pay on that for a long time before I could get it paid off. But when I did get it paid off and I started saving money in the bank, it paid off and I had a good credit rating. So you should carry a credit card at least for emergencies, if for no other reason. Now, I said we were going to talk about this. Let's talk about fees to retailers. Because a lot of, well, I don't know a lot, but some people would say, well, the reason that the fees are higher is because credit card people are milking the system. Well, maybe. But I got news for you. The vast majority of people that have credit cards carry balances, and they're being charged absorbent amount of interest by the credit card companies. So any money that they're losing on people that know what they're doing with credit cards, they're quadrupling their money on people that are paying interest every month by writing a check to the credit card company. Now, the last time I checked, credit card fees were only 1% higher than debit card fees to banks. So when you run your credit card, the bank, well, the retailer is paying the bank a fee to process that in their account. Then the bank is paying a fee to the credit card company for processing. So everybody along the way is making money. But if you're using a debit card, you're not making a dime. By using a credit card, at least I'm getting something. I make sure that every purchase I make, first off, I purchase as much as I can of my everyday expenses on credit cards and other expenses. I use a credit card because I always get something back. If nothing else, I'm getting 2% back on everything I purchase because I have a 2% cash back on everything. On groceries, I get 6% back. On gasoline, I get 3%, rotating in and out of 5% back on my gas. Again, depending on the credit card. My daughter is using one of my credit cards, and we're getting 1.5% on everything that she purchases. So every time I use a credit card, I'm making money, and you should be doing the same thing. Why would you use a debit card and get nothing out of it except a few points that you will take 20 years to cash in and use? Let me run over the benefits of a credit card over a debit card one more time. You get to use other people's money. If you pay your bill off every month, you pay no interest. You have protection on your purchases. You can get sign-up bonuses. And by the way, don't ever get a credit card without getting a sign-up bonus of some kind. You get cash back or points on every purchase that you make. Make sure that you work your credit cards so that you can get something back on every purchase you make. You have worldwide acceptance with credit cards. You have a multitude of benefits on different cards, like free night stay at a hotel. A credit card will help your credit rating. A debit card will not. You need to have a credit card if for no other reason than just for emergencies. If something happens and you need a chunk of cash, a credit card will be there to help you. And then the fees on the retailers is not what it's cracked up to be. They are higher for credit cards by 1 point, but debit cards are right there. Well, that's a 10 reasons to use a credit card over a debit card, and I hope that the younger people, especially the millennials, will get off of the debit card treadmill and get back onto the credit card treadmill. I just remembered a story several years ago when I was getting into the computers. I took my son out to dinner and I put it on a credit card, and he said, "Dad, let me bring you into the 21st century and get you a debit card." I said, "No, why would I want a debit card?" And I went over the reasons. He's a smart guy. He's got lots of money. Why he uses a debit card instead of a credit card is beyond me. But he does. So anyway, use your credit cards, use them wisely, and make money using your credit cards. Well, that's about all I wanted to say. You guys have a great week and happy investing.